afternoon. This is KTN Newsdesk. My name is Najma Ismail. Now, at least 50 people are reported to have been killed in ongoing clashes between the Turkana and the Pokots in Nadome area. Our reporter Kamche Menza is currently following the situation, and here is her latest report.
We meet Sapan Todongor walking in pain kilometers away from the raided village. He's one of the survivors here during the Monday morning raid. He has a bullet lodged inside his upper hip, now hoping to receive some treatment. Chemureng Mudiangor was not spared either. He survived by a whisker after a bullet nearly blew his head off. They're among those who tackled the raiders in bid to rescue other families and their cattle. Domotepa Chemokonge lost his son.
So tukaanza ku exchange na waka exchange in fight kuanzia masaa hizo mpaka around saa 5 wakiwa wanang'ang'ana to rescue the animals. Ndio tukapata majara sisi wengine na wengine wakauawa.
Mpaka saa 4 mpaka saa 5 mpaka saa 8 mpaka saa 9 mwisho, na tumewaja ikikonga na konga msituni tu, sina toroka kuja pande hii.
Mwisho iliisha saa ngapi?
Iliisha karibu saa 12 kwa sababu wenye walitoka last huko chini waliachana na Turkana wakiwa karibu Lomelo, ndio wakaacha hapo na mbuzi.
9 homesteads within Nadome village were traumatized, with one family losing 5 of its family members. Gripped by fear and still keeping vigil, residents point out to us the area where the raid occurred. They say it is still not safe. Over 3,000 livestock were stolen.
Now, Christians and Muslim clerics in Uasin Gishu County have forged a common forum to enhance peace and security in the region. The interreligious forum seeks to promote peace among diverse faiths and communities in the wake of insecurity due to terror threats in parts of the country.
Here is to commence a process in which we want to look at the issues of insecurity that has characterized our country in the recent past.
Kwa msingi huu, tutasimama kama Wakenya kwa kulihifadhi taifa la Kenya na kuwahifadhi Wakenya wote, kwamba hatutakubali kugawanywa katika misingi ya kidini, na tutasimama imara kuweza kuieleza serikali ya county zaidi na serikali ya Kenya kwamba huu gaidi ni nini hasa.
Now, Kenya is set to host the 9th annual Forum of African First Ladies against breast cancer and prostate cancer in July. To this end, the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta today hosted a sponsorship meeting with private and public stakeholders. Cancer is said to kill 60 Kenyans every day, killing more people than HIV, TB and malaria combined. Now, the government launched a 21.5 billion shilling project aimed at acquiring the facilities for the treatment of the deadly disease. Health Cabinet Secretary James Macharia said at the meeting that the implementation of the project has begun.
And as of now, we are actually reaching towards the end of the implementation of this program. Let me confirm to you that the contracts were awarded, the companies have started work, and we told them that even before you pay them a cent, they must put pilot or model hospitals to show us what Kenyans you get from this project. And Your Excellency, we choose 4 hospitals: Machakos, we choose Kakamega, we choose Homa Bay, and we choose Thika. And we said, before you can even get a penny, show us the kind of equipment we'll be having access, Kenyans will be having access to going forward. And so they've done a lot. And I'm pleased to say that having completed the pilot and model hospitals, we shall be opening the first, not MES equipment, but MES Hospital, Managed Equipment Service Hospital, before the end of this month in Machakos.
Lack of awareness among our people, inadequate health facilities where diagnosis and treatment can take place, and the high cost of treatment are all prohibitive factors. The 9th SCCA conference creates a platform where stakeholders from various sectors can come together and share experiences in the fight against cancer. As the host nation of this conference, we must show our commitment to fighting cancer.
Now, residents of Kiganjo Estate in Thika decry the poor drainage that has resulted in flooding recently. Some of the families have been displaced in the ongoing long rains. Some residents claim that they have lost their livestock and houses to the rains. They say that they look forward to the quick action so far promised by the local administration.
Shida kubwa ni karabat, na wenye walijenga hawakuangalia wala hawakujali maisha ya wenye wanaishi hapa.
Sasa tunahofia tusikojeke. Watoto wengine wameanza kukojeka magonjwa ingine kama pneumonia na cholera ni kama imeshaanza kuingia hapa. Sasa mimi naomba mheshimiwa wetu ambaye anasimamia national government hapa constituency, mheshimiwa Ares Wambui Ng'ang'a, atushughulikie. Kama ni ile karabat ameweka pale, iwekwe kwa njia ambayo inafaa. Tena ile barabara inuriwe juu ili maji ianguke. Drainage aangalie mahali ambapo maji inaingilia. Uko juu karibu na Kiandutu ataona mahali hiyo maji inakujia yote, atuwekee drainage mzuri, itelemke mpaka dumping site. Uko sewage dumping site iwekwe maji huko mahali ambapo inafaa.
Sijui tutafanyaje? Na tutafanya nini? Na tutaenda wapi? Kuna mahali ya kuenda, kwetu ni hapa. Tusaidio na ule manataka kutasaidia Kavogo, Ares na ule mwingine ataka kusaidia sisi.
A raft of measures have been put in place by the National Transport and Safety Authority to curb increasing cases of motorcycle accidents in the country. The authority says all motorcycle owners must ensure that the motorcycles as well as the riders are insured against accidents. The NTSA Director General Francis Major also indicated that they may appeal to the national government to reintroduce import duty of motorcycle parts in the country as a measure of regulating the high number of units currently present.
We are planning for a national conference where we shall call all county commissioners and all traffic enforcement officers across the country to sensitize them on this regulation, and we expect that to be cascaded up to the level of the village sub-chief, so that when we start cracking on these people, they don't complain that they are not aware.
Now, stigma continues to haunt families of children with autism. A support center in Mombasa is, however, working to counter the myths and perceptions associated with autism. KTN's Francis Ontomwa has that story.
This is a routine for Peter Muteti every afternoon, picking up his sons from school and guiding them through the way. Quite a laborious task for the father of three, but one he cannot evade. Two of the sons are autistic, enrolled at the Angels on Earth Center, Nyali, Mombasa, a daycare center that supports children with autism.
Information about autism is not available. Personally, I came across autism because my son got autism, and I went out seeking what is the problem with my son.
The challenges of bringing up children with the condition are many, and with lack of proper information, it becomes a daunting task to wade through, fighting stigma, topping the hurdles.
Initially, it was like witchcraft or whatever. That's what the perspective people have in the first place. They don't know these children are challenged. Number two is some people mistake you and think there's something you did to your child for him to be like so. So you'll get rejected in the society. People will try to even use you and try to call you all sort of names.
Mara nyingi unakuta ya kwamba wazazi wengi baada ya mke na bwana kujifungua mtoto akuta ya kwamba ana kasoro fulani, mara nyingi yule mtoto anachukulia kama ni laana.
At the center, such are the encounters that teachers have to grapple with. At times, learning is interrupted and special attention needs to be accorded elsewhere.
So we work in all that, and as a center that we are trying to make it and assist those parents who have children with autism to make their life a bit fair and a bit cheap.
Autism is a range of complex neurodevelopment disorders characterized in varying degrees by difficulties in social interaction, verbal and nonverbal communication, including repetitive behaviors. Both genetics and environment play a role in causing autism. Although there is no specific cure for autism, therapy and behavioral interventions offer remedy to specific symptoms which can bring about substantial improvement.
My biggest accomplishment is when I've seen the children that have started with angels and walked away saying bye-bye to me and knowing that they're going into a normal school.
Some children receive physiotherapy to keep them alert. Besides, the center contracts the services of a speech therapist.
It makes a lot of sense and it works because if you think about communication, you use language all the time.
It may be difficult to identify a child who is autistic in the early stages of development. The most obvious signs of autism tend to emerge between 2 and 3 years of age. While autistic children are unable to live independently, in some cases, they exhibit exceptional skills and talents. Francis Ontomwa, KTN, Mombasa.
Well, time for a break now, but when we come back, Michael Karanja will be in studio with the CEO of Eagle Africa Insurance, to tell us about tourism insurance covers.
Welcome back to KTN Newsdesk. I'm Michael Karanja. Now, for the past few months, we've been talking about insurance without a key focus on the intermediaries that exist in the market. And to help us understand this, I'm now joined by Sam Cherry, CEO of Eagle Africa. Sam, if I was just to start off, Eagle Africa is one of the largest brokerage firms that we have for insurance in this market. Just to help us understand, what's the key role of a broker when it comes to insurance?
Well, the insurance broker, its role is to advise customers. They give professional advice. They help them structure the insurance programs so that the person buying insurance gets the best package and the best protection against the risks that that are facing them.
With the insurance penetration somewhere just below 3.5%, how can you say the relationship between insurance firms and brokers has been in Kenya?
Well, it's not been the best.
Yeah.
Sometimes the insurance brokers and the insurers themselves, the insurance companies themselves, are in competition, which they shouldn't be, because they should be complementing one another. Because the brokers are the ones who actually go out there to source for the business. They're the ones who structure the products, and then they get an insurer to carry that product.
And I guess that makes you be one of the most innovative kind of arms when it comes to this, because you're in direct contact with customers. So just looking at that, how innovative is it then? Are you able to introduce products that respond better to customer needs when they're coming for insurance policies?
It's true, yes. The primary role of the insurance broker is actually to structure the products that suit the customers, and that meet the customers' needs.
Yeah.
And we're out there in the market all the time, so we get to know, for example, what Mr. Karanja needs in terms of his insurance. Some of the products are available off the shelf. There are others that we actually tailor-make to meet the customer's needs.
When you're just looking at that, obviously there's that micro level of insurance that we always tend to look at. Have you kind of seen products that actually gear to that level of the economy?
Yes, we have. And as Eagle Africa, there are two products that we proudly say that we were the initiators of. One, medical insurance for individuals. That was a no-no for insurance companies, but we came up with a product. It's called Afimilele, And we're seeing the uptick of it. It's fantastic. And the second one is called the BAO pension plan. Now, BAO means what?
20 bob.
20 bob. So you can save as little as 20 bob a day. And that's what that product is about. And it's meant to reach the bottom of the pyramid so that we can enhance the savings for people in that level of our society.
All right, Sam, let's just focus on one sector now for a bit, and that has to be tourism. Obviously, numbers are down, earnings for the sector are down. Perhaps, is it time, perhaps in the way you've been innovative in the past, to come up with tailor-made products that actually ensure players in the sector from business losses that are actually accruing from what's happening in the industry right now?
Well, we're actually ahead of the game, I must say, and very shortly we'll be rolling out a product of our own. In the past, we've been selling other people's product, but there's a product that we're working on. And this product covers tourists, tour vans, and the people in the tourism industry, in the business of tourism, like hoteliers and lodges. Yeah. Because a lot of tourists are scared and they're worried about going into a country where they are not too sure they'll find that kind of protection. Yeah. One of the features of that product that we're working on at the moment is evacuation. The evacuation of a tourist in case a tourist gets injured in a game park and they're not too sure they'll get proper treatment in this country. Yeah. So the product will have cover for evacuation from the game park into Nairobi. If need be, to be flown out of the country. These are some of the features. It also covers the tourists for any body injury, or in case of death, there'll be compensation to go to their families.
But we just look at that. When the UK last year, but when was issuing a travel advisory, it was more or less primarily around the case that the tour operators that they were using had cancelled the kind of insurance products that they had come. When you see that, do you see an opportunity where perhaps even as Eagle Africa, located in Kenya, you're able to go abroad and actually target those customers from abroad and actually tailor-make products for them from their end?
Well, actually, that's the whole essence of this product. This product is purely for the tour operators, the hoteliers, and as I say, those operate lodges. Now, with that with that product, they should be able to market Kenya as a tourist destination better than they're doing. Yeah. Because right now, they go there and they ask the question, is there insurance protection for us? And they start scratching their head because they can't readily say the product is available. But in no time, the product will be on the table, available. We'll avail it to as I said, the tour operators and the hoteliers. And with that, we'll partner with them in going out there to try and market Kenya as a major tourist destination where you can go in without any worry. You have insurance protection.
One of the key facets of insurance is that it's being able to mitigate some risk, unforeseeable risk. When you look at perhaps the hoteliers, especially at the coast, who are now losing business, is there perhaps a way that they can actually mitigate against this and actually, because it's not essential, they're not the direct impact by terrorism activities, but loss of business. How then do you address that? Is there a product perhaps that insurance companies can think of where they can be able to partner with people in the industry so that when business losses do arise, they're able to mitigate that risk?
Right now, I don't think it's possible to find a product that will cover their loss of business. This product will cover cancellations. For example, if you've got booked your hotel, you've done your holiday bookings, and there's a threat and there's a cancellation, yes, it will cover that. Yeah. But it does not cover prolonged losses that one may suffer because of the trading environment, so to speak. But maybe that will come a lot later. But I believe the tourists will feel a lot more comfortable if they know that where I'm going, even before they travel, I've got access to this insurance product which will cover me, and I don't have fears about evacuation. I don't have to have fears about injuries and 12 years about compensation to my family. Yes, that should be able to help in mitigating some of the losses that our tour operators or those in the tourism industry are suffering from.
Innovation is key to this sector. Perhaps when you're just looking at this, you pride yourself in being innovative as far as individual medical schemes and the bio-pension plan is concerned. But when you just look at the industry as a whole, if I was just take you back to the macro level and the kind of competition that we're seeing, we're also seeing now banks more or less training their eyes on this sector. We're seeing multinational firms coming in. How then does that position even just the industry as a whole for uptake in 2015 going forward?
Well, the more players, the merrier. The more you have who understand the profession of insurance, that's going to assist in the penetration of insurance, and there will be more products also that will be made available. The banks, yes, have entered the fray, and they're very excited about it. We are also excited because they're going to help in the penetration, although one has got to put caveats about how this is the effectiveness and how this is done. But yes, we're excited that the multinationals who exited our market are now on their way back, and they're back in a big way, which shows that there's great appetite for our Kenya as a trading environment. They are seeing opportunities, obviously. I mean, a businessman will not go where they're not seeing opportunities. They're not seeing business opportunities. That's why they're coming here, which is tremendous for us, and that's going to help boost the penetration.
All right, thank you very much. There has been Sam Cherry, CEO of Eagle Africa Insurance, just telling us about how the industry looks out like to be in 2015. Innovation is going to be key to driving penetration in this market. Najma Ismail, what's happening else in the news?
Well, the chairman of the National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, Samuel Chepkonga, says he has no intentions of withdrawing the constitutional amendment bill seeking the progressive realization of gender parity. This comes as Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anwai Guru says a draft bill on the gender rule will be discussed in the cabinet next week. The two spoke before the National Assembly's Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee.
We made a decision that we would rather go with the amendment of Article 81B in the format in which it has been published and has gone through the first reading. And so we came up with the amendment of about 6 legislations to support the progressive implementation of the two-third and one-third gender rule. And those are the supporting legislations.
So we are not actually addressing the issue of the proposed amendment to Article 81. What we are finding a little awkward, and I think Parliament should be finding it awkward, is where we are all met here to discuss the implementation of the Constitution, specifically Article 100. We have a bill which we are processing. We are giving you a report about processing that bill, and then at the same time, a member of Parliament, a parliamentary committee, on the same issue is publishing a bill.
I think the CIC is blowing hot and cold on this issue. If they had something, I mean, I think the chairman has taken the bull by the horns and he has presented something. If CIC and the other actors were really serious, they should have come in earlier. They should not even have waited until this long.
We are finished with the bill as the ministry because we've already submitted the bill to CIC and Kenya Law Reform. It is really up to them to finalize with it for us to be able to submit it to Cabinet. And since we are the ones who submitted the bill to them in the first place, I don't see us delaying the bill in any way. So as soon as they're done, they'll submit it to us. All bills actually go to Cabinet through the Attorney General's office, not really directly from the ministry. But it doesn't matter because we collaborate. And as soon as they're done, we will take it and table the bill to Parliament. That's
Now, moving on to sports, after finishing 7th with 15 points, the Kenya team to the just concluded 2nd IAAF World Relay Championships in Bahamas jetted back in the country last night. Well, thank you very much for watching News Desk this afternoon. My name is Najmi Ismail.
This is KTN. Welcome home.